Yo, what is going on, guys? It is Darius from the Buzzer Beater Podcast. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys my top 3 players from each position that you need to draft in this year's fantasy draft. And if you guys want to play fantasy football with us, with your favorite podcast boys, there is a link to that in the description below. We have 5 slots left, so if you want to come play fantasy football with us, come on and join. Click the link down below. Starting off with the quarterback position, I have Patrick Mahomes at number 1. I think Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. And if he is there with like your second or third round pick, because I don't take quarterbacks with my first round pick. Maybe you guys do, but I personally don't. I think a lot of people don't either. So if he's there with like your second or third round pick, I think Patrick Mahomes is your guy. I think you should take him 100%. You got Kelsey, Tyreek Hill. You can't pass up on that. Number 2 is Josh Allen. This is the guy that I really want to take this year. I want to take my second pick. I'll tell you guys my first pick later, but I really want to take Josh Allen with my second pick, or my second round pick. Like last year, he proved everybody wrong. I thought he was not going to be an elite quarterback last year. I thought he was terrible. I thought he was a bust. But they got Stefan Diggs, Cole Beasley stepped up, and Dawson Knox stepped up, their tight end. And Josh Allen just had a phenomenal year last year. He had an MVP type year last year. I think this year he wins the MVP. Bold prediction, Josh Allen wins the MVP and is going to have a phenomenal season. Take him in fantasy if he's there. Number 3 might shock you guys, but I have Tom Brady. I think that he proved everybody wrong that last year that he's still elite. He won a ring. And when you have guys like Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, and Gronk, and they get O.J. Howard back, I think Tom Brady is just set up for success. Like, he is going to have another phenomenal year. Maybe he'll get another ring. Who knows? And, yeah. Honorable mention, Deshaun Watson. We don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson yet, so I didn't want to add him to this list because we don't know what's going to happen. Like, if he gets traded or if he returns to Houston. So, if he's there and we know what's going to happen with him, then you take him. But if we don't know what's going to happen yet and he's still there, I wouldn't take him. Or not in the first round, at least, second round. And then moving on to running backs now. Number 1, I have Dalvin Cook, the best running back in the league. He had a phenomenal season last year with a terrible O-line. The Vikings go out there and get a guard in the tackle in the draft, Christian Darrison, Wyatt Davis. I think those 2 guys are going to help the Vikings O-line tremendously. And Dalvin Cook's just going to cook it up again. He's going for 2K yards. And my first pick is going to be Dalvin Cook. I'm taking Dalvin Cook on my first pick if he's available. 100%, no debate. I think he's only set up for success. Number 2 is Nick Chubb. Again, one of the most underrated running backs in the league, without a doubt. Last year, he missed 5 games, I believe, and still finished like 3rd or 4th in the NFL in rushing yards. That is just crazy. Nick Chubb. If he's there in like the first, second round, I suggest you take him. Nick Chubb is a must draft. And number 3, I have Derrick Henry. With no explanation, Derrick Henry is a must draft. Maybe even with your first pick. No need for an explanation. Derrick Henry is a must pick. And you guys might be like, oh, where's Christian McCaffrey? Where's Christian McCaffrey? I know Carson will be like that. But he is my honorable mention because I don't know how healthy he's going to be next year. If he ends up having a healthy season and you ended up drafting him in like the second round, you got a steal, man. But I wouldn't take him because I took him last year in my first pick, and look what happened. He got injured. So I'm a little shaky on taking Christian McCaffrey, but I know a lot of people are going to call me crazy, but I'm just, playing it safe, and I'm not going to take Christian McCaffrey with the first pick. Moving on to receivers, I have number 1, DeAndre Hopkins. In my opinion, the best receiver in the league. He had a little bit of a down year last year. Not a phenomenal down year. I thought he was going to produce way more, but he didn't. But DeAndre Hopkins is still one of the best receivers in the league. He's still a great pickup in fantasy, first round. And I think he's going to have an even better year next year. Number 2, I have Stefan Diggs, another guy from the Bills. You have a top 5 quarterback. You have a top 5 O-line. He's only set up for success. He ate last year. He got the most receiving yards in the NFL last year. I think he exceeds that and does even better next year. I think Stefan Diggs could be a dark horse for Offensive Player of the Year. If he's there, take him. And my honorable mention for receiver, oh no, I have my third one. My bad. I have Tyreek Hill for my third one. Tyreek Hill. You have Patrick Mahomes. That's really all. You have Patrick Mahomes, and he's a top 5 receiver. So if Tyreek Hill is there, and you feel it's the right time to take him, take him. And now my honorable mention goes to Justin Jefferson. Again, with the O-line, I think the O-line is going to help out Kirk Cousins a little bit because he'll have more time in the pocket. He'll have more time to find Justin Jefferson down the field. And I think Justin Jefferson's a first down machine. I think if you give him a good ball, I think he's going to go up there and catch it every single time. Justin Jefferson's a great 4th round, 3rd round pick. Moving on to tight ends, number 1, I have Travis Kelce. It's Travis Kelce, the best tight end in the league. And you have Patrick Mahomes. No explanation. I think he is a 1st round type pick material. Number 2 is George Kiddo. Now, if he can stay healthy, I believe he is the best tight end in the league if he's healthy. Now with Trey Lance, who is an upgrade from Jimmy G, I think George Kittle eats and goes for even more yards than Travis Kelce, even more touchdowns. I think Kittle's going to have a phenomenal year next year as long as he can stay healthy. Number 3, I have Darren Waller from the Raiders. Top 3 tight end, did great last year. He's going to do great again this year. And my honorable mention is Mike Gesicki from the Dolphins. Now, I got Gesicki last year in the free agent market, and I had no regrets. He was such an underrated pickup for me. He helped me out so much because I actually took George Kittle, and as you guys know, he was really, really injured last year. So picking up Gesicki was a really good pickup for me, and I think this year you need to take him. Another honorable mention is the rookie Kyle Pitts. This dude's just a beast, bro. Like, I can't say any bad things about him. He's going to eat next year. He's basically a receiver. You can throw him at receiver. You can throw him at tight end. You can throw him at the O-line. He's a unit. He's going to eat next year. Moving on to the defense, I have the Colts. They're the best defense in the league. Doesn't really need an explanation there. I wouldn't take a defense in the first 6 rounds, maybe in the 7th or 8th round. Take the defense, but if the Colts defense is there and you feel it's the right time, take the Colts. Same with the Steelers, a top 2 offense. If you feel the time is right, the Steelers are 100% great choice defense. Same with the Bucks. They played phenomenal last year in all 16 games and in the Super Bowl, NFC Championship. They played great. I think the Bucks defense would be a great pickup. And my honorable mention is the Minnesota Vikings. Now, a lot of you guys may call me biased or crazy, but hear me out. The Vikings were without Michael Pierce last year and Danielle Hunter. Those are 2 guys on a D-line that killed their D-line. They get those 2 guys back. They bring in Patrick Peterson. They had a phenomenal draft, and they have Harrison Smith. They brought in Xavier Woods, and they brought in Patrick Peterson. I think that defense is going to be really, really, really good next year, and definitely a dark horse. And moving on to kickers, I'm not going to give explanations on these because no offense to the kickers, but, I just don't really know what to say about kickers. So I have Harrison Butker, Justin Tucker, and Jason Sanders. Those are your top 3 kickers that I feel like are must drafts, especially Justin Tucker. Justin Tucker's always a must draft. But that is my top 3 guys from each position that are must drafts this year. Once again, if you guys want to play fantasy football with your favorite podcast boys, the link is in the description below. Click on that. 5 slots left. If you guys join, we'll have a blast. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.